Welcome and welcome back. That's right, today we got another reveal, tier 6. We got ourselves a Slayer Relic. Let's talk about it. Also, can I just say, look at this little thing here. I love the continuity in the video. It even shows the relic we got yesterday. That's pretty nice detail there. Okay, anyway, now let's talk about it. Starting off with where this relic falls on our little chart here. Tier 6. It's a little farther than it was last year and also means some bad things for my prediction, I think, but we'll come back to that in a little bit. What does this relic do? The Culling Spree. You are given 3 options to pick from anytime you get a Slayer assignment, and keep in mind we are getting a lot of Slayer points in League, so if you get 3 options that you don't like and you really don't want to do it, outside of like the first task when you're initially getting your points, maybe your second one, you're going to be able to skip a lot of these, so outside of the early bits of Slayer, you're not going to have to worry about it too much. But of those 3 options, if it's possible for you, you're also going to get a boss choice, which is pretty cool. And we're going to talk about some of the implications of this as well. Now, those tasks you can define anywhere from 5 to 200 kills. So, hey, if you didn't want to skip it or don't have the points, you just pick 5 kills, go kill 5 rats or whatever, right? It's going to be really fast. This one also is getting a passive where superiors have a chance to spawn more superiors when they die, a 50% chance. Now, also keep in mind, superiors are more common to spawn in leagues. The base rate is going to be 1 out of 50, so this is going to help you get even more superiors faster. And keep in mind, those superiors, they have another 50% chance to spawn another superior. So it's entirely possible that you are just going to chain superior after superior over and over again, which is going to be great for things like XP. It's going to be great for farming out the superior uniques. And if any of the mobs themselves have uniques, so like gargoyles, maybe you're hunting for a granite maul. I know they're not that uncommon from the normal mob, but hey, it's a better chance from the superior as well. So that can be really helpful. And I super love the idea of just you're sitting there, you're doing Slayer, 1 superior spawns, and then the rest of your task is literally just superiors. It's going to happen for somebody. I know the odds aren't great because it's a coin flip every time they die, but it's going to happen, and it's going to be a really, really fun streak for somebody. Now, the superiors are also going to drop 1 to 3 elite clues, so they're helping you a little bit with the clue farming. But probably the biggest part of this relic, if you take this, it's going to work as if you're always wearing the Slayer Helm Eye. And you don't have to wear that helm. So that means you do not have to go to Mauritania if you want the Slayer Helm bonus. And this also means you're going to be able to get that Slayer Helm bonus with full sets of armor like Darox. So that might mean some really fun interactions. But let's talk about the boss side of things first. Now, I know a lot of folks are familiar with the relic from last year. This one called Slayer Master was in tier 5. That's why I had guessed that we would get this a little bit earlier in the tree. And it was also bugged, which meant that even stuff that didn't normally count as a Slayer creature, it counted. So you got an extra bunch of damage if you had the Slayer Helm last year. And I know I've seen a lot of back and forth debate about whether or not the new one is good or better or what have you. And it was a little broken last year having Slayer work on absolutely everything. Great for the XP, but just from a damage balancing perspective, it kind of meant that you had to wear the Slayer Helm. And, if you were in Mauritania, it almost made you have to take Mauritania just because you felt like if you're going to go for this relic, and it was against a clue relic and something else, you really felt like you'd be missing out by not going Mauritania. So I do like this change overall. The fact that you kind of get the Slayer Helm bonus without the need for a specific area, I think that's really positive. You're still going to get the damage bonus that you would from having the Slayer Helm on a lot of creatures. So let me pull up the boss list just so you can see what I'm talking about. Here it is. I will link the wiki down below if you want to look at it for yourself. The nice thing about this is so many of the bosses in the game are actually assignable as Slayer creatures, either directly, meaning you get a Barrow's Brother task from your Slayer Master, or indirectly a Moxliotl, where if you get kind of the standard Slayer creature version of it, you can still go and fight the boss, so you get that damage bonus. And this is true. I mean, this is probably 95% of the bosses in the game. I mean, it is a lot of them. It isn't absolutely every single one, but it's pretty good coverage. And I would encourage you to look at this list, but I am going to talk about the big ones that I think people are maybe a little bit sad about. So first things first, is this going to help you on Jad and Zuck? Yes, but to get these Slayer assignments, you are gonna have to kill them at least once. So this isn't gonna be like the OP damage buff that you were used to. If you took this thing last year and ran into the Inferno, you are gonna have to do it without the Slayer bonus damage. But once you've completed each of these once, then you'll be able to get the assignment and get that damage on them. So it will get easier if, let's say, you have a task to do like 15 Infernos or something like we had last year, then it will help you in farming these out. You just have to be able to do it once, so I know that's going to be a little bit off-putting for folks. Now, of course, the other sad thing, these bosses here, you know, the biggest one is probably the raids. Last year, getting that extra like 15 or 20% damage, whatever it is that it works out to for the Slayer helmet, in all of your styles for your raids, that was, yeah, I mean, it was big. It's a big damage buff, and we are going to get that because you can't get these raids or like the bosses within them as Slayer assignments. Same thing with Soul Heredit, so the Colosseum just got a little bit more challenging for folks. And even the Corporeal Beast, you know, I wanted to put this on here. I know that's not like a huge boss, but it does kind of suck if we have like a big task, so we'll have to see. So yes, there are a little bit more caveats this year compared to last year's one, but I mean, that boss list is still really big, and the bonus of not having to wear the Slayer helmet, I think is super, super nice. So this is what I had guessed in the reveal yesterday, and as you'll see, I had the Slayer one here in tier 5, so yeah, whoops. that wasn't right. Let's move that one around. I grabbed a couple extras just to help fill in the spaces, so I've got, you know, this prayer one up here, and I've also got this other, like, demonic circle thing. I don't know if these are right. I still think that this is probably the teleport row, and because the Slayer one was here, I didn't really like what was in this column anymore, you know? I'm like, is this going to compete with a farming relic? Is it going to compete with Pocket Kingdom? That doesn't quite feel right to me. The clue one is what it was up against last year. That maybe this is like a personal thing. I really hate having to choose between Slayer and clues, so I'm just hoping that the clue relic is not here against the Slayer one. But then what does that mean this is going to be against? Well, while we don't know yet, I kind of like the idea of, you know, this is maybe a little bit of like a utility combat damage sort of buff. Maybe it's going to be against other things that are like utility combat damage buff oriented. Grimoire, kind of like a good fit for that one. You know, this is the thing that unlocked all of the prayers and all of the spells last year. And again, you know, this is real speculation right now because, yeah, we don't have the relics here, but like also this one, this is like a prayer related something. Maybe we'll see that up here instead, because if we get some sort of prayer passive like lifesteal or something of that nature, then it sort of fits in this realm. That's kind of where my head's at with these. And we also did get a couple other little tidbits. They added a frequently asked questions page on there. So now you can check this out on the post yourself. I went ahead and grabbed all of the ones that I felt were important there. There are a lot of questions that they clarified on. We aren't getting Edgeville Dungeon in the Wilderness, so I don't think that's necessarily a problem. They are giving us the Air Orb, whatever hard diary requirement auto-completed, so it's not like we have to go in there, I don't think. But it also makes me wonder what that means for, like, Krystilia, because they did say Krystilia is still going to be a Slayer Master, so where's she going to live? Maybe we'll still get parts of Edgeville, but it just doesn't go as far as where Edgeville Dungeon is? Who knows on that one? They also confirmed Pest Control is not going to get its XP back. That is big sad. I don't know why this arrow turned out orange, but I guess our down arrows are orange today. Asgarnia definitely losing some points with this one. Avernic Treads are not going to be dropped as the max treads, so I mean, I can't really count this against Farlamore, but it's definitely a benefit for Asgarnia because that means the Cerberus boots that you get are going to be able to feed into the treads. So if you already want to take Asgarnia, then you're getting even more stats, which I like. The Vorkath head is going to drop as the Ava's Assembler. Now, normally this would be a plus for the Fremnik zone, but you know, literally the next thing, Dazana's Quiver. It already saves ammo. I mean, I guess if you struggle with Colosseum, sure, then maybe, you know, Vorkath is definitely easier than Colosseum, but like, if you need the ammo save, you naturally get that in Varlamore, so you're kind of already set. Sorry, Fremnik, you didn't get a win on this one. Maybe we'll have to wait for another reveal. But that is all I've got for you for today. I am going to be covering all of the reveals, so make sure to subscribe if you want to stick around for those. And I am going to be doing a progress series once the league starts, so that'll be fun if you want to see that as well. I do also have the Discord linked in the description for you, so if you want to join the community and chat me up, tell me how wrong my current Relic board is. It's probably super wrong. Then feel free to join the chat, hit me up. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.